Life in Layouts, and today I have a process video using the page mats from 2019. I'm actually going to use this one page sketch and I'm going to turn it into a 2-page layout, and I'm going to be able to get 5 photos on my layout. I'm using this Once Upon a Time print from Echo Park, and I believe it's from last year. These photos are from our Chicago trip last year, and my nephew grandfather has this amazing property that has a small little river or creek behind it, and Adam thought that that was the best thing in the world. He wanted to go down there all the time, and he would just walk through the water, and the water was probably no more than his waist high. He would just find rocks and shells and anything that caught his eye, and it was just an amazing time for him. So I love these photos. It almost looks like photos from back in the 30s or the 40s when kids were outside just playing in the dirt, and that doesn't really happen anymore. So I have these 4 photos on the left. I cut them down to 2.5 by 4, and it just shows a progression of him walking through the water and looking down and just checking it out. I decided to go ahead and put this photo collage up on Fun Foam. And I do follow the sketch pretty closely in regards to the 3 banner strips that are on the back, and then I just added the extra photo. My photos are a little bit larger than what the sketch calls for as well. I have this 1 4x6 photo that I'm going to put on the right hand side of the layout. And this technique I've used quite a few times. I got this idea from Scrapbook Generations 6x6 paper pad class. I believe it's the second one. And it's where you take 3 full sheets of 6x6 paper and you arrange them to make a collage behind your photos. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to figure out what the best configuration is of these 3 photos. I've got the photos with the trees, that blue paper, which I also matted the photos on the left-hand side with, and then this word text paper that has just like Once Upon a Time and the Prince's Adventures and things like that, just adventure type wording. I decided to go ahead and use that red paper to back my photos. It has a tone-on-tone diamond print, and that allows for all of the colors from the left-hand side of the layout to be brought into the right-hand side. So once I ink up all of the edges, I'm again going to play around with the configuration, trying to figure out what is the best way to put them down. I will be using my T-square ruler to make sure that they're all straight, just because it is a grid style background. I do use Fun Foam to pop up this photo as well. And then I pull out all of the embellishment pieces that I have for this paper pad. I have the chipboard pieces as well as the sticker sheet, the enamel shape pieces, and the rosettes. So I decided to use this Grand Adventure Ahead, which I thought was perfect for the left side of the layout because it looks like he's looking towards the right, and so looking ahead for his grand adventure. Along with that, I add a chipboard piece that is a sword, and then I pull out this rosette that has a dragon on it, and that's when I decide to go ahead and add other dragon and castle type stickers. So I put a chipboard dragon up there at the top, That little scroll says Lost Boys Rule, think happy thoughts, fight with pirates, always believe, never grow up, which is an amazing saying from Peter Pan. I decided to go ahead and add an additional pieces to that embellishment cluster down at the bottom, add a little shield, a green arrow, and then that symbol of, I always think of that as like a castle medieval time symbol. I add the boat to the right, which I thought was appropriate since these photos do contain somewhat of a water. At the top there on the right, it does say seek for adventure. And I'm gonna add a couple brads to the layout as well. When I got this paper pad, I went all in. I got everything that I could find for this. I did pick it up at Tuesday morning, and then I also got some at the expo. So I have lots and lots of embellishment pieces for this. Right under that seek for adventure, I went ahead and put a big castle. And then I also got the enamel with dots that I'm gonna add in each one of the clusters. So after I get all of those down, I try to figure out a title, and I knew I wanted to do something with the word prince, since it does have that prince theme to it. And I decided that I'm gonna go with Muddy Prince. I think that that is perfect because he's completely dirty in these photos. So I use a light blue that has a copper color in the center of it, and then I use the brown chipboard pieces for the word muddy. For my journaling on this, I decided to go ahead and add strips of paper. So I pull out my center ruler and to add my lines for my journaling. What I decided to do was do a double line so that it would give me the opportunity to write my journaling plus be able to cut them out into strips. After I get all of that down, which my journaling says, I loved watching Adam play in the creek. He looks like an all-natural boy being shirtless playing in the water. I go ahead and cut out the journaling into little strips, and I'm going to add those to the left-hand side of the layout right below the photos. And that is it for this layout. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another process video. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that's all you're going to get on my channel. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.